Something told me it was over. I got 2 decks. Gotta separate my decks. When I saw you and that girl walking around, ooh, ooh, something deep down in my soul says, cry, girl, cry, girl. When I saw you and her walking around. Okay, so I got my deck separated here, and guess what? This is all legit. This is all legit. We're gonna do the most straight, realist reading ever. No lights, no cameras, no fake stuff. I don't read reversals either. I don't read reversals, so I mean I can. I'm gonna do it because, like I said, if the card comes out, how it comes out. We have a rod. One of rods. The one of rods. I'm going to do 7 cards. And this one wanted to come out. This looks like a major arcana here. Let's just take a look at it. Take a look at this guy here. And I was just in here thinking. I don't know why that song came into my mind, but I'm gonna go with it because I have learned to go where the force takes me, because the force is with me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this reading, and this is the message for Virgo rising. This is a message for your Virgo risings. All you up. Okay, that's too many cards. I'm amped up. I done had some coffee, but I'm ready to go. Okay. We got our 2. You see that? I'll put that down. So that's 3 from that deck. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pull all 7 cards from this deck, which is my African American Orisha deck, and then I'm going to clarify with my other deck. So go ahead and okay, all right. This one came up as a reversal. Okay, this comes up, and I don't name the cards. I let you be the judge. I just go by. So I got 4 cards out now. And you know, it's supposed to snow outside. I'm in Washington, D.C. It's supposed to snow. We've had warm weather for the last couple of days. It's been like in the 60s. Okay. All right. We got this lady. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th card. Okay. This is the 5th card. 2 more cards, ladies and gentlemen. Gods and goddesses, witches and warlocks. We got 2 more cards. Alrighty. Okay. So somebody's in the forest. There's a tree, a table. And you see that? Alrighty. 1 more card. 1 more card, baby. 1 more card. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Check this out. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get to this reading, and I'm gonna do it. I didn't really tell you what cards I picked. I'm gonna go with the images that I just presented to you. I'm gonna look at the images, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm picking up, and you can either agree with it or you can't. You don't have to agree with it, baby. But let me tell you, I'm gonna do it anyway. So, give me a minute here. So, this is for our Virgo risings for the month of December. I see a tree here in the forest. It's the biggest tree in the forest. And it's all by itself. And there's a lot of little, a lot of other little trees around it. And it's a rod. It's a one of rods. Or one of wands, whatever you want to call it. So it looks like you are going to start off this month kind of by yourself. There's other people around you, but these people around you, it's just like they're there and they're small. They're not as grand as you. They're not thinking on the level that you're thinking on. It's like you are there and you are strong and you're grounded. You start off this month very strong and very grounded. And by yourself. You're by yourself. So is anybody out there that's starting the month off like by themselves? But it's not a by yourself where you're like, there's nobody around. You have people around you. It's just that they're in the background. They're in the background and you know that they're there and they see you there. And it's just like, you're there, but you're strong. You're by yourself and you're alone, but you're strong. And then you move into this kind of dark place where there's some life. You're doing some type of magic, or you're visiting it's some form of darkness around you. I can see that. Because this man, there's a skeleton. As you can see this car. He's in like this desert type of place. This desolate place. And there's bones laying around him. And he has on like this sacred garment. His face is not showing. And he's doing something there. So it's like you're in the dark. You're alone in the dark by yourself. And you're surrounded by people who are dead-minded, who are mentally dead. That's what it is. You're surrounded by people who are mentally dead, yet you're standing strong. You see this? So shout out to all my people who are by themselves. And you may think that it's a bad thing to be by yourself. Even though you have lots of people around you, you still by yourself. But you can't understand why all these people around you are so mentally dead. They're not. You're surrounded by people, mediocre people. And what you need to do is you need to balance out. Yes, you're alone. And yes, you are strong and conscious. And you're surrounded by people that are not as conscious and strong as you are. And we're going to say that with confidence, because there is a such thing as there is a such thing as you being more confident and stronger than others. Now this is not the time to be humble. This is the time to be true. There are people around you who don't want as much as you want. And they're not thinking on the level that you're thinking. You're thinking on a much higher level. And they still want to remain here. They're okay. They want to be in your world. They just don't want to stand strong and grow with you. They don't want to think on a higher plane. They don't want to do that. But you have to figure out how to balance this thing out, because whether you are like it or not, we do live in a universe where the forces of weak and strong, good and bad, high and low exist. And you have to figure out how to make the two forces work for you. You got to figure out. You got to figure it out. See, there's a male and a female there, and there's a world around them, and the male and the female is the ultimate representation of balance and polarity. And so you got to figure out how to make this thing work, how to be royal. See him? You got to figure out how to be royal and how to transform this energy to make it work for you. Because if you don't, you are going to block everything that's coming to you, all of your abundance, all of your knowledge, all of your wisdom, if you don't learn how to be strong, how to stand strong in a world full of weakness and lackluster people and people that are content on being dead-minded, and if you don't know how to be the creator of your own destiny and how to work the forces of good and evil, high and low, negative-minded, strong-minded people, you have to be a master of all different polarities. If you don't do that, if you stand there just thinking you strong, and you keep standing there thinking you're the only person in the world that strong is all you have to be, and that there's not going to be a world where weakness and death and all those lower life forces are, then you're not going to win like that, because we live in a world of polarities, and you got to figure that thing out. And when you figure that out, when you figure out how to use your weaknesses and your strengths at the same time, how to use the dark forces and the light forces at the same time, you're going to be this woman right here. You're going to triumph. See how she's grounded in the earth, but she's raising her hands up to the heavens, and she's thanking her ancestors, but at the same time, she's still grounded. She's still an earthly being, but she understands the spirit world as well. And so she pays homage to both the spirit world and the physical world, to what's above and what's below. And you see, she's strong. This is what you're going to become. And once you become that, then you see how this tree has two branches. And this is also representing polarity and balance. Look at it, because it has two branches. One has this strap around it, one doesn't. And see, the table has abundance on it. Looks like it might be like little gold nuggets, little pebbles or something, but this is how you're going to eat. You're going to eat by being balanced. You're going to win by being balanced. Okay? And there's some of you, let me pull some more cards for clarity. Because like I said, the overall reading that I am getting is that you got to learn how to be all things. You got to learn how to mesh the forces of light and dark and bring them together within you and become this abundant person. This person who can go anywhere in any situation. You got to learn how to be tall and be little at the same time. You got to code switch. You got to learn how to code switch. Once you learn how to become all things, and once you understand that you are all things, Virgo rising, then guess what? It's on and popping for you. It's on. And some of you may be in a relationship with a spouse who is content with being mediocre. They may be doing the same things that they've been doing for years and years and years, and you're just not trying to be there no more. You're trying to grow, you're trying to prosper, you're trying to do other things, but yet these are still good people in your life. How do you keep the good people in your life but still grow? That is what you have to work out. And how do you work that out? You work that out in your mind by understanding, baby, that we live in the world of all things. You're not just going to be strong all the time. You're going to have strong and weak people, but together, those forces make things happen. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sit back and pretend like you got all the answers just because you're smart? And yes, you're smart. And yes, you are mentally aware of things that most people are not. But guess what, baby? The darkness ain't going nowhere. To have the light, you must always have the dark. To have dark, you must always have light. To be happy, at some point you got to be sad, and that's just the way it is. And you have to master the science of balance and polarity. Yeah, you do. And it may be some of y'all looking at me and saying, oh, she doesn't articulate herself well. Don't matter. That's one of my weaknesses, but I'm still here, and you still get what I'm saying. And these cards, when I picked up this card and you look at it, you could still see that this tree is by herself. This tree is by itself, and it's standing tall and abundant and strong. But then there are other trees that are just as green, but they're smaller. You know, they're more humble. And the two here exist. They're here, whether we like it or not. And so how do we make it work? Yeah, that part. So I don't even need these cards because this message was loud and clear. Do what you got to do to master and to balance the forces of good and evil, the different polarities in life. And if you don't understand what the different polarities in life, just research it. I mean, it's simple. I've been saying it over and over and over again. You know, let me just tell you a quick story. But hold on. I want to sing. Can I sing? Something told me it was over. Yeah. When I saw you and that girl walking around. Ooh. Something deep down in my soul says cry. Okay, that's why that song. See, you may be going through something where you're going through a change, and you see that everything around you seems like it's working against you, and it's so negative. But actually, it's something good there. You just embrace that change and embrace that negativity and see where it's taking you. Just like a woman when she's pregnant and she's in pain and she's going through that pain, it's agonizing. She's like, oh God, this hurts. But then she births that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful child. That's where you are. You got to go through that pain, baby. You got to go through it. You got to appreciate that pain. You got to appreciate, even though it's going to hurt. I mean, not be dumb and be like, oh, I want to be in pain. But you got to understand. You got to understand that it takes pressure, pain sometimes makes you a great person. And that's where you are, Virgo rising. Soon the pain is going to be all over, baby. It's going to be all over. And guess what? You're going to be that, or that, yes, you're going to be that one. You're going to be that one, the all. You're going to be able to say, I am all things. I am all things. I may wake up in the morning and I may feel like, you know, I'm on top of the world. I may feel like, hey, nobody touch me, can't nobody see me. Then I may wake up the next day and feel like, you know, I'm the dumbest heifer in the world. I'm the dumbest man in the world. Guess what? Sometimes it won't be like that. You're not going to always be strong. You are this. You are a balance. See, these people, even though it's two people here, together they're one. And you see that? Where there's darkness, there's sunlight. You see that? So you got to be all things, baby. And I can't get no clearer with this message and what I just did. So there you have it. What's the song I want to sing next? I can't sing, but guess what? I want to be a singer. What y'all want me to sing next? Know what I'm liking right now? I'm liking Ari Lennox. let's talk about balance. All right, so that's my R&B. Let me jump over to the countryside, to the white countryside. I like what's that? I don't know the man's song, the man's name, but he sings. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I search on your love all the time. Yeah. So that's what you gotta be. You gotta be country and R&B. You gotta be rock and roll. You gotta be gay. You gotta be straight. You gotta be dumb. You gotta be smart. Go there. Learn how to do it all. And make no apologies for when you're not feeling your best. And in the same way you sulk and you down yourself when you're not being your best, when you're feeling good and you're on top, give yourself all the praise, unapologetic. The same way you do, the same way you sulk and you feel every bit of pain when you're hurting or you're not being yourself, or when you're going through stuff, when you're on top, you make sure that you say, I'm that. I'm the one. I'm number one. Do it and your life will feel much better. When you learn to understand pain and processes and struggles, and you know for certain that that pain and that process and that struggle is going to bring you happiness, the kind of happiness that you're going to just revel in, that's going to strengthen you and revitalize you. You got it. Because you can't have one without the other. You can't have one without the other. At some point you're going to be young. At some point you're going to be old. At some point you're going to be glamorous. You can't win like that. You can't win trying to be with the scales unbalanced. What are you going to be? You going to walk around like this? Oh, you got to be like this, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like, what you gonna do? All right, peace out.